It's your Houston chiropractor, Dr. Gregory Johnson, and today we're going to be doing another follow-up visit on Cornell, which you saw him 14 visits ago when we first got started with severe sciatic joint pain, sciatica, leg pain. So this is his 14th visit, and we're going to show you how he's doing right now. So let's take a look in the mirror first here, Cornell. And I'm going to have you close your eyes and flex your head forward and backwards for me. And of course we're checking his posture three-dimensionally on the X, Y, and Z axes again. And I document that every single time a patient comes in. That tells me what their true biomechanics are. Now, as you can notice from his first videos, his head's way up and back more now. So he's got much better standing, weight-bearing posture. He doesn't have that forward head posture that creates increased weight-bearing in the muscles in the disc that cause bulged and or herniated disc and also sciatica. And he's still got just a little bit of translation down in his pelvis here, but that's also improving. He's still rotated a little bit because he sleeps on his side, but overall we're seeing much improvement and very good. Okay, Cornell, let's have you lay down here. Now, we have been doing this since very early on because he came in with some diagnostic tests and MRI and showed herniation of the lower lumbar disc, and that was causing an impingement on his L4-5 nerves that come out of his lumbar spine all the way down into his sciatic nerve. But we also discovered in this whole examination process up front that his problem really wasn't coming just from his lumbar spine. It was actually coming from his pelvis and sacroiliac joints, which is really the base of any patient's spine. It's kind of like the foundation on a house. There we go. There we go. Good. Okay, he's in there good and tight. Got the towel back here already. Yep. And we're going to make sure to get this towel right under his occiput and keeps his mandible shut. And just take a deep breath through your nose and let it all out and relax. There we go. Good. Now see, it's getting much smoother now. This being his 14th time, it's a lot easier than the first couple, huh? Yes, ma'am. All right. His reflexes are returning. This is Houston winters here. See, people still wear shorts in the winter down here. There we go. And now we're going to do a master cervical. Drop this right in the hand. Cervical rotary break in his cervical spine. I'm sure you heard that probably all the way over there already. Yeah, get his shoulders back there. Now I'm going to have you roll sideways and we're going to come over on this table. I'm going to pull your leg while you're on this table. There you go. And let's go in your tummy first. There we go. And you notice I always have the headpiece down a little bit, and I do that for a reason so that we can actually spread the joints out a little bit here in his cervical, thoracic spine all the way down. But again, we're going to come down here and check his leg length. It's exactly even right now. We bring it up, it stays even. His pelvis tightens up a little bit, but not too bad. That's much better. And didn't raise up, so that's not a positive Knockless test or Deerfield. And I'm adjusting his left SI joint right here in the X-axis as well as the Z-axis and the Y-axis. The right one I'm adjusting more in the X-axis for the rotation he has there. And now I'm adjusting the right sacrum, S to I, superior to inferior, which is on the Y-axis. Because when we line up the base, or his pelvis, it's kind of like the foundation on a house. If you have a straight, level foundation, the walls are all going to be straight and level. But if you have a crooked foundation, you're going to get the leaning tower pizza or a crooked spine in this case. So now we're just going to have him breathe normally. Yeah, and there we go. Okay. He's got a lot of still paraspinal muscle hypertonicity right now, so we're going to have to get out the Terminator on him. And because he's still got a lot of paraspinal hypertonicity or muscle spasm, I use my elbow still really deep right down here in the pocket where the quadratus lumborum, multifidus, and erector spinae muscles attach in the lumbar spine and all the way into the sacrum, the pelvis. And we're doing that on both sides and putting a deep, steady pressure in here. This is one of those hurt so good type of therapeutic activities. And again, right in his thoracolumbar spine, which is a heavy stress area. That's where the curve changes from a kyphosis to a lordosis, and it's always a pretty stressed area of the spine for most people, especially if they have a forward head posture and type job where they have to be leaning forward and bending forward a lot. But those aren't near as sore as they used to be, are they? Good. Now, we're going to get out the Terminator, which is a modified jigsaw. You've seen me do this before. And we're going to start down here in his IT bands, a lot of people call them. They're really the tensor fascia lata muscle. And again, the hamstring. And all the way up into the gluteus medius, maximus, and piriformis muscles in the pelvis. And I'm putting quite a bit of downward inside pressure on this as I'm doing this, so we're getting very deep myofascial relief. Those guys are still sore, aren't they? Yep. You still got a lot of hamstring tightness as well. And we even get down into the calves because they're still tight. If you notice on all of our treatment videos, we spend a lot of focused, personal time working on the patient symmetrically, and that means side to side and front to back, so that we can create a three-dimensional biomechanical alignment that is strong and stable with gravity, and that helps to not only get rid of the pain and problems that the patient comes in with, but it also makes for a much longer lasting and more stable type of care, and prognosis is much better for a long-term, I hate to call it cure, but a long-term correction of his problem. Because we don't cure anything. God does all the healing. He just uses us as a tool and instrument of His healing power. And you can see again, I'm putting quite a bit of pressure in his upper thoracic musculature, which is the trapezius muscle. This is shoulders, where everybody gets those knots in their shoulders. The levator scapula muscle right here from the scapula, which is the shoulder blade, all the way up into his neck. And right there is real sore, isn't it? Yeah, sure. Yep. That's right where a rib is between the spine and the scapula, because in the thoracic spine from T1 down to T12, ribs attach to each and every one of the vertebrae. And when they get misaligned, they weaken the diaphragm and the stomach slips up through there, and you can get hiatal hernia, which you also saw in earlier videos that we did today. Or will be seeing, I should say. Excellent. And then we're going to finish off his therapeutic activities here with some deep pressure vibrational type of force, which helps to improve blood supply, so you're getting much needed oxygen and nutrition into the cells, which helps them heal. But what you're also doing is you're creating increased blood flow that helps carry out the metabolic waste products of normal cellular metabolism, which is also very important. So I don't just use this as a light rubby feel good. I'm putting quite a bit of pressure in here in the paraspinal muscles so that we can increase the blood flow. A lot of patients will feel a sense of warmth in that area from the increased blood flow. Also itching sometimes occurs just from the increased blood flow. It causes a influx of a lot of the anti-inflammatory chemicals, antihistamine kind of things that help to reduce the adverse pain inflammatory chemicals such as histamine, prostaglandins, substance P, and those type of chemicals. Plus this feels pretty good too, doesn't it?
Yes, sir.
Yep. We want to make each and every patient's treatment experience on every single visit exactly what they need for that visit. And since we've seen so much improvement to date on Cornell, we're just continuing to do the same things that we have been doing to help stabilize his condition to where he's coming in here from the higher numbers that he originally had up in the 7s and 8s, now down into the 2s and 3s already, and this has just been 14 visits, so we've been at this just around a month, just a little over a month, and I'll let him tell you how he's doing. I don't want to speak for him. I always evaluate the patients not just with subjective how they're feeling, but also objective how I'm seeing their posture, their orthopedic neurological tests, their leg length, all that stuff. So very good. All right. Now the very last thing that we're going to do, which you always see us just come over here in front of the mirror now, is we're going to take our specific Atlas adjusting instrument, which is a high velocity, low amplitude adjusting gun. We call it the gun. And I set it at the proper depth for each patient. Okay. Now, I'm going to have you flex your head forward and backwards again. Please remember what that feels like. So you can already see the range of motion is better there too. Now, for him, he's still got a little bit forward, so here's his home exercise, therapeutic exercise, is lift shoulders both up here with the traps, pull it back with the rhomboids, and you want to flare these hands back like this so you can get a lot of pull backwards. And then we're going to have that head come straight back in the Z angle here and straight back on the X-axis in rotation, and I'm going to adjust the Atlas on the X-axis from the sides. Very good. I'm going to hit his traps and the levator scapula muscles right here. Very good. Okay, now relax. And let's try that one more time, please. Full range. Look at the difference. Take a deep breath in. Now, you see how his shoulders have squared off? And you look at his first video to now, and you'll see a huge difference. His whole head's come up and come back now. And he's squared off. Posture's even. Got evenness now here in the pelvis. Okay, why don't you tell our viewers how you feel that you've done this first 14 visits?
Well, like I said in the previous video, thank God for helping me find Dr. Johnson.
Praise the Lord. We do too.
And I feel like I've came long ways, and I've made so much improvement. I mean, I feel like I'm almost there, you know. And
turned the corner, didn't we?
Yes, sir. Yeah. Thank God for everything.
Yes, I agree with that.
And I encourage everybody that is watching this video, if they have any back problems, come visit Dr. Johnson's office. They're going to feel much better. Guarantee.
Well, thank you very much. Yeah, we don't guarantee too many things, but that's a nice statement.
I mean, I'm just saying what I'm feeling. So.
Yeah, exactly. And that's wonderful. You know, chiropractic really does change people's lives. It saved my life when I was in grade school. That's why I became a chiropractor. I knew I was going to be a chiropractor in the 8th grade. And I just studied it the rest of my life and made myself the very best chiropractor I could possibly be. This is your Houston chiropractor, Dr. Gregory Johnston. We'll see you next time.